Roger Stone here. Every day you wait, your money loses value, but gold and silver don't follow those same rules. American Sovereign Bullion gives you access to a nationwide wholesaler network, helping you secure aggressive pricing on real physical metals. Call 844-272-2428 now to get your free gold and silver guide to learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver, delivered right to your door or with a gold IRA. Visit asbgold.com. That's asbgold.com for your free gold and silver guide today.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
We also are going to talk a lot about Iran. President Trump coming out saying that Iran is desperate to make a deal, but he was also briefed just a few hours ago about a potential increase of military activities. He's not saying he's going to do that, but what he is saying is that he's looking at all options, and his military advisors gave him a whole list of stuff that he could hit, and that includes Karg Island and a whole bunch of other things. So it could be a very heated next few days. And meantime, the Democrats are saying, nobody's backing this war. How much is this war costing? Isn't this a quagmire? Are they rooting for the enemy? Shouldn't they be rooting for the red, white, and blue? It's disgusting. When I saw some of the rhetoric today during the hearing with these Democrats asking questions of Pete Hegseth, like, why are we in this war? Are you stupid? Truly, are you stupid? You've got a terrorist regime that's a heartbeat away from getting a nuclear weapon, and they're wondering, is it worth it? I guess they'd like Iran to get a nuclear weapon. I mean, it is disgraceful. And what it says is these Democrats will do anything to trash President Trump, and certainly don't want him to have any sort of success, whether it's domestically or overseas. And that's a sad place to be. We should all be Americans and rooting for this victory big time. First off, here's President Trump, you guys, just a little bit ago. He's in the White House, and he was asked, it's the first time he was asked sort of, what do you think about this attempt against your life? And does it kind of, does it overwhelm you? Do you think about it a lot? How do you process it? This is now the third very major attempt against your life. How do you take it all in? And here is what President Trump had to say.
How nervous are you about it happening again, another assassination attempt?
I don't think about it.
You don't think about it at all?
If I did, I wouldn't be doing a very good job here. I'd be thinking about nothing but that. I don't think about it. I don't think about it. If I did, I wouldn't be effective.
It's a great point. He said if I think about it, I would not be effective. It would just weigh him down. He'd never get out of the house. And he's like, I got to get out there. I got to get campaigning. Remember, right even after everything happened, he was still there at the Hilton. He waited at the Hilton for about an hour because he wanted to get back out there and continue the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It wasn't until the Secret Service said, no, that is not a good idea, Mr. President. You should not go out there. That is a major threat, and this threat may still exist somewhere in the room or outside. You cannot go out there. But it was President Trump who was darned and determined to keep it going. Finally, he acquiesced to the Secret Service. Good decision, Mr. President. But this is not necessarily something that he would like to do. He wanted to kind of go full steam ahead and act like nothing had changed because he feels like I am not going to have these monsters weigh me down or weigh the presidency down. And that is one courageous, gutsy man. Think about it. Who could sustain all of this incoming and all these threats, verbal and also physical threats that he has had to endure? And he still just keeps forging, keeps going 24/7. So here is President Trump talking also about Cole Allen. And he was asked, what do you make of the security at that Washington Hilton hotel? And here's what he had to say.
There's been some talks about changes to your security after what took place.
Changing my security.
Changing your security after what took place.
Well, they did a pretty good job, actually. They stopped the NFL running back. I mean, he was like a running back. In fact, if he ever got out, they're probably going to sign him. He was a speedy guy, but he was stopped. They had many levels in front of him before he would even come to us. You could be a baseball team and win 19-0, and somebody could say, you should have won 21. You should have gotten 25 runs. The team was no good or something. So I don't know. I can only say that I know a lot of those people at Secret Service, and they were good and they were forceful. And I saw the guys in front of me. They were powerful-looking guys. I said we could send them to Hollywood. They could make movies. I think that there's always room for improvement, right? And he got into the building. The problem is I know that's what I do. I build buildings like that. Much nicer, actually, but I build buildings like that. And, when you have 1,000 rooms sitting on top of a ballroom, and you have the elevators coming down right near the entrance, it's a pretty tough situation. Now, right outside, we have something that's on time, on budget, actually ahead of time. Ahead of budget, depending on finishes. Finishes, there's a big difference between marble and onyx in price. But it's right on budget, right on time. And that's built to the highest standards of security. No units on top, no hotel built on top where an elevator comes right down through the middle of it. It's a tough location. That's a tough location. So I think I know the people at Secret Service. I think they're great.
And I love the fact that he stands behind our men and women in law enforcement. There's a lot of things. So I will say, looking at the tape, I think there's definitely some things that could have been better. You look at the head of Secret Service today said, no, I wouldn't have done anything different. I kind of beg to differ. I guess it's hard to say. Maybe we shouldn't have been dismantling the magnetometer and had our backs to that direction. Maybe we shouldn't have let the guy run past us. There should have been some blocks. There will definitely be changes in the future, whether they admit it or not. And I love our many men and women at Secret Service. I know a lot of them. I used to cover White House. They're the best of the best. But there were definitely, I believe, some mistakes made here and certainly some questions on how to at least improve it for the future. Well, you listen to the rhetoric from Democrats, and they are not toning down since the White House Correspondents' Dinner. In fact, they're doubling, they're tripling down. It's shocking. There's like no kumbaya period. Often after a horrible thing like this, there's oh gosh, we need to have some self-reflection. We need to figure out maybe how we could do things a little better, how we can all work together. No. They're not even saying any of that.
Listen to this podcast now
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why is the middle class shrinking? Why are people facing an affordability crisis while marginalized individuals called informals grow in numbers? Join me as I travel the world, speaking with people living in invisibility, the leaders working to solve it, and uncovering the hard truths shaping our economy and daily reality.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.